Today we're looking at the sine law. The sine law takes advantage of properties from the right angle triangle that I could show you would do in a normal lesson, but probably not today, in order to take advantage of known ratios. Okay, we're not going to really look at this today. We're just going to look at what the sine law is. What you need to know about triangles is the smallest angle will always open up to the smallest side. So if this is angle A, this is open up to side B. Again, we're going to ignore that right now. Okay, so A is the smallest angle, will open up to the smallest side. B is the biggest angle, will open up to the largest side, and C is in the middle. Okay, so for the sine law, it takes advantage of the ratios of the angle compared to the side. Okay, so let me draw this out again. Okay, and A, C, B. Okay, so what we can say from here is there's a common ratio between these two. So this is always paired with its side, B is always paired with its side, and C is always paired with its side. So what we can say is that the sine of A divided by side of B over side B, and that's also equivalent to the sine of C over side C. And the same, you can flip all of these. So A over sine A is equal to side B divided by sine B, which is equal to side C over sine C. And of course, in an equation, you'd only ever use two of these. So let's jump into example 1 here. Okay, so let's say you have a triangle that looks something like this. Once again, we have no right angle triangle here. Okay, if you have a right angle triangle, SOHCAHTOA primary trig ratios is the way to go. Okay, and we want to find, let's say we want to find angle F. So if I want to find that, okay, well, we need to set up a ratio. When setting up the ratio, I always have something is equal to something else. And to make your life easier, I always put our unknown top left. So F is an angle, I want to find that, but all angles cannot go into formulas alone. We need to use the sine function. Sine of F, and then divided by what F pairs with. Side F is 13. Since sine is on top here, we're going to put sine on top again. Sine 48 over 12. Again, to make your life easier, always, always, always put your unknown in the top left. If that's a side or if that is a angle, put it there. To solve for this, I need to get rid of our denominator. Multiply both sides by 13. And I'm left with sine F is equal to 13 sine 48 divided by 12. When I work that out, make sure you're in degree mode. 13 sine 48, it's important to use brackets where you need to here, divided by 12, and I get sine F is equal to 0.8051. Keep 4 decimals in this place. And now I need to take the sine inverse to find actual angle F is equal to the sine inverse of 0.8051. F is equal to 53.6 degrees. Okay, so that's finding for an angle. For a side, well, I'm going to jump into a word problem. Okay, word problem is going to be about a weather balloon. Weather balloon is up in the sky here. Okay, and a weather balloon is being observed by 2 points on the ground. Okay, we have 1 point that is to, well, it doesn't really matter. We'll call it point 1 and point 2. Now, we know that the 2 points are 38 kilometers away, and I'm just telling you that. Okay, and the angle of elevation to the first point to the balloon is 65. The angle of elevation from the second point to the balloon is 43. What's the distance from each observation point to the balloon? So I want to find the distance of this and the distance of this. Okay, so pick one to start. First of all, for sine, we need a complete ratio. I didn't mention that at the start. Let's go back. You have to have a complete ratio. For example, in this question, my complete ratio was this right here. I had 48 with its pairing side of 12. Okay? In this side, in this one, it doesn't appear that we do have a complete ratio. I don't have that angle, I don't have that side, and I don't have that side. So we can get a complete ratio by just simple facts of a triangle adds to 180. So this angle up here would just be 180 minus 65 minus 43. 180 minus 65 minus 43, and we get 72 degrees. Okay, so that now allows me to have a complete ratio. So let's decide which one we're going to solve for. Let's go with x. Okay, so setting up your ratio. X over sine 43, because they pair, is equal to sides on top, 38, divided by sine 72. Again, I want to get my variable alone, so I multiply both sides by sine 43. These will cross out. I'm left with x alone. X is equal to 38 times sine 43 divided by sine 72. And simple calculation, x is equal to 38 sine 43. Again, a lot of you are going to have calculator issues here if you do not use brackets on your numerator. Always, always, always use brackets on your numerator and denominator. And I get x to be 27.2. So just generally looking at that, 27.2 makes sense to me. If it was 39, I would know it would be incorrect because angle 72 opens up to 38. So therefore 43 is going to have to open up to a smaller side. So that side right there is 27.2. I'm going to let you guys solve for the next one on your own. Okay, that's sine law for this week. We're moving on to cosine law next.